come back and say, all right, they're good to go. Let me give you the next 3 steps, and then we're going to do the fulfillment. So here we go. All right, Christine, you there?
I'm here.
Okay, I appreciate you for holding on. Okay, well, here's the thing. So great news. They're gladly to starting the process with you. Here's what I want to do. I want to give you the next 3 steps of what's going to happen. I know you said that you want to get everything done tomorrow, but obviously there's a few steps that we need to make sure that we get going first. So do you have something to write down? Do you have a pen and paper to write? You are? Okay, perfect. So the step number 1. What is up, everyone? Welcome to my YouTube channel. I know you clicked on the link because of the title of the video, but it is a live sales master call that I did on our show called Do Deals With Me Live. We actually go live every Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Arizona time. We're currently in the middle of that for the whole month of January. So if you want to join us, you're more than welcome to. Set your reminders. I go live on YouTube here every single day from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're going to be doing that for the month of January. But this call specific, the reason why I wanted to show you and bring this call up is because it's a whole, it's a full call that shows you the whole sales process from point A to point Z, how to take someone from hello to yes, I want to do a deal with you. So it's, I'm going to walk you through the call. We're going to play the call. And I'm very excited about it because, again, you're going to get to see everything. This was live. This is not, some pre-recorded or anything like that. Like, we did this live on the show. So again, I'm doing the show Monday through Friday. Do Deals With Me live, and we're doing live calls, answering all your questions and everything in between. So with that being said, if you're new to the channel, make sure that you hit subscribe. I'm bringing up some new content. Make sure you like this video. And the last thing that I ask is that you actually share this video with someone, okay? I don't make you jump through hoops and loops, sign through links and register to things, so this is out there for you. So the only cost is that you actually share this with someone. Also tag me on IG. Say, hey, Max, I was on your live sales master call, right? I heard everything. Here's one of my takeaways, and I'll reshare the story. And if you tag me, that would mean a lot. So, but again, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe so you can be reminded of the when I go live every single day when new content drops. And make sure you like this video and share this video. Let's get into it. All right, so let me bring this up. Again, this is a call that I did live on the show, Do Deals With Me, Do Deals With Me live. And, this is a seller, a property in North Carolina. Pretty much we went back and forth. I mean, it wasn't negotiations, really. You're going to see some of the comments where it's like, oh, man, it's like watching deal or no deal, right? And so we went through some negotiations back and forth. But overall, it was great content, live content, uncut, raw. So you're going to get to watch it. So let me go ahead and let's get started. Enough about this noise. So let's go ahead and get started so that way you can hear the call. 5-1. All right, here we go. This is a deal. Gotta hype yourself up, right? Here we go.
Hello.
Hello, Christine.
Yes.
Oh, hey, Christine. My name is Max. I'm calling you because you had filled out a form on our website about selling that property over 168 Circle.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, perfect. Well, I know we got the information, and obviously the notes don't always tell the whole story. And what I wanted to do is just ask you a few follow-through questions to see if we can qualify the property for an offer. All right, first stop I'm going to do there. So notice how I said I have a few notes. The notes don't always tell the whole story. Do you mind if I ask a few follow-through questions for what? To qualify the property for an offer. So what does that do? That lets the prospect know that not everyone gets an offer from us. And I'm doing that right from the get-go, right? I'm not waiting. I'm doing that right now. I'm taking position. I'm positioning myself as and I'm positioning myself to hold leverage so I don't get hit back with what's your offer right away, right? Can it happen? Yes, but I am trying to avoid that. So what I'm doing is I'm saying to qualify your property for an offer because not every property gets an offer. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let me
Okay,
know what you think in
perfect.
the
I
comment section
appreciate
about that.
that. So one of the things, can you, right off the back, one of the things that I don't have in front of me, can you verify the bedroom and bath count for me?
2.
It's a 5-bedroom, 2-bath?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect, perfect. Got it. I appreciate that info. Another thing too is that one of the things that I don't have in front of me, is this a rental property or is this your primary residence currently?
No, it's my primary.
Okay, so you are staying there. You're currently living there. I appreciate that. Okay.
Yeah.
And then
Okay, so really quick, when you first start your calls, whether it's negotiations or whether it's cold call or follow up, and you have not really talked to this individual, there are things that I'm looking for here. I'm going to give you a couple of reasons why I asked these questions right off the back. So, number one, the reason why I asked this question is because I want to know if I'm talking to a suspect or a prospect, right? And I don't want to get into money conversations too early or even property condition. The reason why is because everyone is willing to talk to you about that. Everyone's willing to talk to you about money conversations and property condition. I want to get the prospect engaged. And what I'm looking for are three things. I'm looking for cooperation, I'm looking for engagement, and I'm looking for reciprocation, right? That's what I'm looking for. And I do that by asking non intrusive, non invasive questions. They're very general. So if a prospect that I'm talking to doesn't want to answer very non intrusive, non invasive, very general questions, or they're answering them in a very nonchalant way, it's a red flag for me to really stop the conversation and call them out, right? I want to call them out. In this case, so far, she's been very cooperative. So let's go ahead and keep going.
obviously, when you decide to sell this, not necessarily to us, but once you find someone that you feel comfortable selling it to, is there anyone? If you do, exactly, that's what I'm saying. And again, this is why I want to ask questions, because we don't buy every single property from everyone we talk to, right? It's got to be a fit for you, just like it has to be for us. But once you do decide to sell this, is there anyone else that's going to have an input on the sale of the property?
No, it's me and me only.
Okay, so you're going to be the only one that we would have to talk to. Okay, no one you you need to consult with or anything like that.
No.
Okay, well, I appreciate that.
Okay, I'm gonna stop it right here. So this is another key point here is right away I'm finding out before I get into money conversations, before I get into uncovering any type of motivation, before I start talking about property condition, I've already uncovered who else is going to be part of the sale for the most part, right? Because we can always have black swans. But I'm asking that up front. If for some reason down the road, let's say that she says, well, now I need to talk to so and so, or now I got to think about it and consult with so and so. Well, now I get an opportunity to call her out, right? And say, I'm confused. Earlier, when we started the conversation, I asked you if there's anyone else that's going to have an input on the sale of the property. And what you said was no. What changed? Now I have the positioning to call her out. If I didn't do this, then basically I wouldn't be able to do that. So now I know, right? I'm finding out. And listen to the way I asked it. I didn't say who is there any other decision makers in this, because decision makers implies that it's someone that's got to sign on the dotted line. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for influencers. We're looking for anyone that's going to have an input at the end of the day. So we need to ask, when you decide to sell this property, not necessarily with me, is there anyone else that's going to have an input on the sale of the property? Right? Let's go.
And the reason I ask that is because a lot of times, what happens is, we get in a conversation and potentially we could be ready to make an offer. And a lot of times we'll hear, well, hey, I got to talk to my attorney. Okay. Got it. And this is why I want
to make sure.
Yeah. And
All right. So she said no originally. I followed up with, okay, not even someone you have to consult with or confide in. She just said right now there is someone that I have to run it by with. You see what I'm saying? I uncovered that within the first 3-4 minutes of the conversation that there's going to be somebody else. And this is not a decision-making person, but it's an influencer, such as an attorney. This is what it was. It was an attorney.
Something.
Of course. And part two of my question is because I want to make sure that if there is another person, I want to make sure that I answer their questions, your questions, and stuff like that. But that's kind of like a page 10 thing right now. And so, just out of curiosity,
just letting you know, I'm just asking right now. We'll figure that out later if it makes sense for you and I to work together.
Ballpark, how long have you owned the property?
Nice. I bought it.
You bought it in 2009?
Yep.
Okay, so you've owned the property for quite a while now. What actually has you considering selling after all these years?
Honestly, paying off this loan / mortgage that I'm obtained for the house. It's only $10,000, but like just getting it and then selling it and moving away. It's hard to have this as my primary residence. I've been here so long, I just want to fresh start.
Got it. Okay. Well, I appreciate that. That a lot of times, yeah, no, a lot of times, a lot of times a fresh start is good. Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So here, really quick, I discovered that she owns. I have a teeter-totter timeline, which is 10 years or more, 10 years or less. Right. If they say I've owned this property for 12 years, I'm going to say, wow, you've owned this thing for a long time. What has you considered selling after such a long time? They owned it for less than 10 years. I'm going to say, wow, you've only owned this for 5 years. How come you're considering selling so quick in such a short time? I just need then a motivation question, a why question, right? You can do this. Again, I don't want to dive too deep yet. She's still engaged. She's cooperative and she's very reciprocative in the conversation, which I'm right now. I got all three. I'm winning right now, right? I'm winning in this conversation. Okay. So just a quick tip on that. And then now I'm going to sneak in. What has she tried to do about selling?
Yeah. No, it's just, it's that feeling of new. So basically it's more of paying off the mortgage. And then you said there's also maybe a little bit of some things that you need to pay off right around $10,000 is what I heard.
That's just a mortgage, $10,000.
Oh, that's just the mortgage. Got it. I'm sorry. My phone's kind of choppy. I apologize about that. Okay. Well, I really appreciate you sharing that with me, by the way. Let me ask you this. What have you recently tried to do about selling the property currently, besides going online and filling out forms?
Nothing. That's just doing what you said, filling out forms.
Oh, got it. And then have you got anybody to come out and look at it or call you on the forms you filled out at all? And what does that tell you about us? What does that tell you about us that we actually made the call?
You guys actually followed through.
Exactly. That's what every seller says when I ask them that question. I appreciate that.
All right. So position. Remember, this is all about positioning, right? She said, no one has called me. I filled out forms. No one's come out to look at the property. And so you want to position yourself as an expert by them telling you that, right? So what did I ask? I said, what does that tell you about me that I actually called you? Well, I mean, it sounds like you guys are, take your business serious or, whatever that thing that she says. And then when she says that, like, absolutely. And that's what every other seller says about us. Listen, at the end of the day, sales is a slide edge. You have to remember that. And we got to take the advantage in everywhere we can. Let's go.
Well, you know what? Based on what the little bit of information that you just gave me right now, I definitely want to continue the call and ask you a few more questions. And this one might be something our underwriting team would want to qualify for an offer. Jen, can I share with you just a little bit how the rest of the calls go? Is that okay?
Yeah.
I appreciate that. So I know typically from this point on, obviously I'm going to take about another 5 to 10 minutes just to make sure that our underwriting team has all the information. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay. I appreciate that. So I know, other sellers in the past have sold to us. Typically, they usually want to know 3 things, usually, sometimes more, obviously, how much money they'll get, how soon they'll get their money, and how our process actually works. Is there anything else that maybe you haven't thought about that you think of that you've written down, you know, when you talk to someone, home buyers like ourselves, that you would like to know?
First thing, and first company I'm talking to.
I appreciate it. That makes me feel good about what we're doing. So that we're doing our job, right? Yeah, got it. And then now the other thing too, like I said earlier, right? We don't buy every property from when we talk to. It would be impossible. We would go out of business.
Right.
But to get you an offer you can depend on, I'm going to ask you a few more questions, maybe even some about your mortgage and stuff like that. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. I appreciate that. Now, the last thing I want to say on this part is that, you know, what I found out naturally, you know, what tends to happen is that if you do like what we have to say and we answer all your questions, you feel comfortable and we build trust, typically the next step for us would be to put everything in writing that we talked about. If that happens, would that be something that you feel comfortable doing?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I really appreciate that. Thank you for that. Now, one of the things I wanted to ask you, I know that you basically, you know.
All right. So somebody may wonder what was that whole dialogue there about, right? So what we're doing in that dialogue, I call it setting up an advance agreement. So advance agreement, what it is, something that I teach in my training is that what it is, it tells everyone how to behave and the outcomes that we're looking for, right? This is the way we're going to behave in this conversation. I'm going to ask you questions. You're going to give me answers. You're going to ask me questions. I'm going to give you answers. At the end of the day, if the questions and answers are what you're looking for and what we're looking for, it means that we're going to move forward. That's the outcome that we're looking for, right? We are setting an advance agreement for two things: behavior and outcome, right? That's what an advance agreement does, to make sure that everyone's on the same page when it comes to for this call. Now, the next thing that we're going to get into here now is we're actually going to get into what I call uncovering motivation, right? I feel pretty confident at this point. This point on, not everybody makes it to this point here, right? Not everyone makes it up to this point. This prospect has been answering my questions, very engaged, very cooperative, very reciprocative in the conversation. So we're moving down the line, right? We're moving her down the process, right? So what we're going to get into now is we're going to ask now we're going to dive deeper into the motivation of why she is considered selling it.
Earlier, you mentioned that, you know, you're wanting to relocate. You got the mortgage you want to pay off. You don't want to be in that area anymore. You want to start new. And besides that, is there anything else that has you considering selling the property?
No.
No, that's the main motivator.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. So let me ask you this: what is the how long has that been going on that you've been wanting to relocate and start new? How long has that been going on?
It's only been a couple of weeks.
A couple of weeks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, and what? Just out of curiosity, what actually sparked that? The wanting to relocate.
I'm cleaning up my act and ready to just move on.
Oh, understand. That makes sense. That makes sense. Got it. No, I appreciate that. And so, perfect scenario, right? You got the offer you wanted. You got, the terms and everything you felt comfortable with. I mean, how soon do you feel comfortable selling?
ASAP.
ASAP?
As soon as possible.
Okay.
It's something I'm comfortable with. It's something that seems feasible.
Got it. So typically when I have had other people have told me ASAP, I tend not to, assume here. Usually some people mean 30 days. Some other people mean 60 days. Okay. So if someone
Okay, I'm going to pause it here. So just because someone says ASAP, you want them to tell you when, right? ASAP can mean a lot of things. Don't assume you know what that means. This is why I asked her, hey, the past other people have told me they said ASAP, they usually want to sell within 30 days or less, right? Now, it is very important that you actually ask that, because you don't know what ASAP means, because some people might think 45 days is ASAP. You don't know that. You want to find that out before you assume and try to move on and go for the kill.
Made you an offer you can depend on. It sounds to me like you would feel comfortable
I'd be good.
selling this in 30 days or less.
Less, yeah.
Okay, got it. All right. And then the last thing I want to try to ask you here for the most part is when you do decide to sell this. Say that again.
Like an hour and everything.
Okay.
If I don't just jump in and do it, I'm not going to fucking do it.
Got it. No, and this is why I like to ask this, because I want to make sure that I'm on your page, right? Not on my page. Because there's sometimes when we've done transactions in 15 days, other times 30 days. It's your goal and what you're trying to accomplish, right?
That.
And this is why I want to ask these questions. Yeah. Let me ask you this. I know earlier you told me that you haven't really done anything about selling, but when you do decide to sell, it sounds like you want to go more the convenience route of somebody purchasing it on a cash offer, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay, got it. I appreciate
Great
that.
question to ask.
Well, I really thank you for sharing that with me. Let me ask you a question. Obviously now I'm going to ask you a little bit about the property, because this is where I'm going to get all this info.
Okay, so here we go. So we did the intro, questioning games, right? Intro is just say hello. Questioning games to uncover we have a suspect or prospect. And then we did the advance agreement, letting them know how the rest of the call is going to go, how we both are going to behave, and the outcome we want. We just uncovered more motivation, right? We uncovered that she's trying to get her act together, needs to make a decision now. If it's not now, it's never. Very, ready to go, and things like that. We're now going to move into property condition. You notice where property condition is very different than a lot of other calls, right? Very, very different.
Forward in my underwriting team. Would you consider the property, let's say in 2024 standards?
Yes.
Okay, so, and the reason I like to ask is just because I want to make sure, because we're still going to want to get pictures, and I just want to make sure you're on the same page. So if I walked in I'm sorry.
Come on out.
Into the property, basically it would have 2024 cabinets, 2024 flooring, 2024 paint. I would absolutely need to do, what would I need to do up to it?
The whole redo.
So it's not, so then I'm sorry, I'm confused. So it's not in 2020?
No.
So she's breaking up a little bit, but she's contradicting herself from what she said earlier. Earlier, she said that the property was 2024 condition, and now she's saying no, that it's going to need work. So got to make sure you get a lot of clarity. And the reason why she changed her tune, because I said we're going to still have to get pictures. We're still going to have to, basically verify all the information that you're telling me, and there could be potentially and a glitch. I don't know why you didn't hear that. That you're gonna, basically we're going to take pictures and we're going to verify everything you're saying. And she changed her tune right away.
You're going to have to remodel. You're going to have to do kitchen update. You're going to have to do bathroom update.
Okay. Got it. I appreciate that.
I have to fix the house. I mean, it's not up to pristine condition. On there.
I see. So definitely is going to need some repairs and some updating. So here's what I'm going to do really quick, because I want to make sure that I give the right information. I know you told me a little bit about the condition. Can you walk me like from the street into the house? Just like, what's the outside look like? And then basically walking into the property.
Here we go. Get into condition now.
It's a mobile home. I mean,
got it.
When I leave, everything's just as it needs to be flowing there.
Okay.
So it's a mobile home. You outside, you walk up the steps in the door. It's kind of a little hallway. There's a bedroom to the left. There's 3 bedrooms to the right.
Okay.
Bathroom. Down the other way is the dining room. In front of the 1 bedroom, the dining room. Then there's the kitchen, the den with the fireplace. My master bathroom with the bathroom, walk-in closets in every bedroom.
Okay.
Laundry room back through the kitchen. It's on a half acre. It is fully fenced in. It's 4-foot front chain link fence.
Okay.
The back and front is up top, so you can put 2 dogs in the back, 2 dogs in the front, or both. Just leave the gate open.
Sure.
Gotta let them talk. Gotta let them talk. Just let them keep going. Tell you every single thing. Stay quiet. As long as you're active listening, okay, perfect. Sure. Okay, got it. That's good to know.
There you have it.
Okay. Well, I really appreciate that. That was a lot of info. I was trying to catch up with you as far as writing some notes down. And as far as, you know, the property itself, does it have any unpermitted additions at all that we need to probably take care of?
No.
It does.
Nope. It's just, it's 80. It's 78 by 28. I want to say it's
78
80 by
by
28. About 2,000 square foot home.
Okay. And what year's the mobile home?
99.
1999. Okay, perfect. And we have that. I just wanted to confirm it. So, no car garage, anything, no type of like storage buildings or anything like that on the outside. Okay.
It's a little shed outside. The front doors need to be fixed on it, but other than that, it's gonna have to be probably another put in.
Okay, got it. And then the last two things on the condition is the as far as the cooling and heating. I mean, what did you?
I just put one in I just updated it to a 5-ton.
To a 5-ton?
Yeah, I think it's 5-ton.
Okay.
And that was just 3 years ago.
That was done 3 years ago, you said?
Maybe 4.
Okay, got it.
Maybe 4.
Okay, perfect. And then have you had any issues with like the roof leaking, you know, at all?
No. Mm-mm.
You haven't?
No.
Okay, perfect. But everything's fine then on that end.
The front steps when you come in, it's the top step's a little broken, but
The top step is?
does not to be put in.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And I'm taking a lot of notes here, so just bear with me. And then what about the water heater? Has that been replaced at all, or is that original from when you purchased it?
Original.
Original. Okay, perfect. All right. And then has there been any insurance claims that you know?
Everything else is original from when no.
Okay.
Nothing since 09. Everything's original from when I bought it, except for the AC.
Okay, got it. Okay, perfect. So everything's original except
Let
for
them
the
talk.
AC.
Got it. Let her ramble. Tell us all about the
Cool.
property.
So let me do this. What I want to do now is, Christine, is I want to put you on a quick hold. Is that okay for like 60 seconds? And I want to get this information over to my underwriting team, and then I'm going to have them start working on this. And that way they can start looking at it and see if it fits what we're trying to do. Okay. Let me place you on hold for 60 seconds. Okay. Okay. Sounds good.
All right, so we got a lot of info now, right? This is where, you know, we're probably been on this phone now for 15, 17 minutes now, maybe. But guess what? This is a total engaged conversation right now. There's engagement, there's cooperation. I mean, the conversation now we're it's a high level conversation now, right? We're deep into the conversation. You know, that we uncovered, you know, again, we started with the intro. We went through the questioning games, right? We set up an advance agreement. We uncovered more motivation, and we just got property condition, right? We're into the fourth step now of the process, which now what we're doing is we're putting them on a hold so they can get a little bit of a break in the conversation, right? Because we've been going through a lot right now. So this is the first hold. And so what I just told her was I'm going to give this information over to my underwriting team so they can start working on that offer that I promised you in the beginning of the call. We're just basically saying right now, your property now qualifies for an offer, right? So just put her on her hold. This is our first hold. I'm going to turn to Brooke and we're going to talk about this deal and see where we're at.
All right, here we go.
Okay, ARV is 200, maybe a little bit more, but let's be a little bit conservative about it.
Okay.
So I have one that sold for 200 at 1,700 square feet. Hers is 2,000, over 2,000. Just sold in October, and then let's see, another one sold for 207 and.
So we uncovered a little bit later that the ARV was actual 210 was pretty solid.
So what's the ARV?
200.
Went a little bit conservative here, right? We always want to be conservative when it comes to the ARV, always.
Or a little bit more. Maybe you want to do 205, 207. Hers is a little bit bigger. She has an extra bedroom as well compared to the others. So
okay,
maybe let's do 210.
Got it. Okay.
Two
So we'll go conservative, 200.
For repairs, do you think more like 40K?
Yeah, probably from everything she said.
So
I think she would be like,
So this is the thing that Max does as well. And I don't know, talk about this, but putting these people on hold and hear what they say on the back.
yeah, exactly. No, I know a lot of people, other people do it, but it's good to do that. Like a lot of times you'll hear what they're saying or hear their conversation. It's not even a strategy. It's more of like, hey, let's just do it. I'm not looking for anything like, oh, I heard this. Like, it's just more of it happens, right? So
Yeah. So basically, what I'm saying right there is that there's a few people out there that use the hold as a strategy to see if they can hear something. But for me, it's more of I'm letting the seller take a little bit of a break because we have been going through a high level conversation, and I want to make sure that she's still willing to play ball in the midst of putting them on hold and coming back to talk to them. That's really what the hold is for.
are we thinking as far as?
I think that if we pick out, so 65% of ARV minus 40K,
Mhm.
so that's our 96.5 should be our
Okay.
offer.
Now we went super low. Remember, in the negotiations or when you're gonna make the offer, you can always go up. You can never go down, right? Unless you discover that there was major issues with the property. But for the most part, you always want to start lowest. So that offer that we're about to make is we're talking about like making a home run deal, right? Like 30K or 40K. So we started there, but we didn't end there. I want to tell you that right now, right? Here we go.
So I think if we did 94,350.
Yep. Okay. Perfect.
So we're way below ARV, 50% of ARV, right? That's kind of where we're at now. We always want to listen, if you're afraid to shoot an offer that scares you, then you're in the wrong business. You got to understand this is all negotiations. This is all you can make adjustments, things like that. Watch, check this out.
Great. So let me go ahead and get back on the phone with her. So then offer is going to be what?
94,350.
93.4. Oh, sorry. 94,350. Yep. $94,350.
Yeah, we're way below
And then
50% of ARV.
You'll have some room to go up a little bit if you wanted to,
Okay.
because that's 65% minus.
Yeah, yeah.
40K.
All right, let me figure out what she actually wants for this thing. Hello, Christine.
Yes.
Okay.
And also,
Uh-huh.
the AC is actually older than that.
The AC is older than that? What do you think?
Yes, it is.
What do you think? What's the length of year?
It was 2014.
It was in 2014. Okay, that's still a little bit over what
All right, what I am going to do right now, you're going to see is that I am going to go before I give her my offer. My goal is to uncover to see what actually she wants for the property. And the reason you want to do this, be very, very careful. The reason we want to do this is because I can tell you 99.9% of people that want to sell their properties have an idea of what they want, right, for the property. It doesn't matter if it's right, correct, wrong, or indifferent. Everybody has an idea of what they would want for the property, right? So why not find that out? Find out what that is. What if she only wants 80 and I give her the offer at 94? So this is what I'm about to do right now. I'm going to slowly drive her into having her give me the number, because what I want to do at the end of the day, I don't want to shoot myself in the foot. If she only wants 85 and I'm making an offer at 94, you got to be very careful with that.
7 years? No, 9 years.
Oh, still works great.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, it's less than 10 years, which is good. So, but I do apologize for the long hold. Obviously my underwriting team was asking me, a few questions, and I just want to make sure that I give them all the information. Now, I wanted to ask you, Christine, obviously we've been talking here now for around 15 minutes. Usually while they're looking at this stuff and they're looking at this, the information and coming up with an offer, I know in the past, other sellers that I've spoken with, they typically either the day they started, and you've just started 3 weeks ago, right? They usually have a number in mind of what they would want for the property, and just off the record ballpark.
So I just started within the last couple days.
Sure.
Thinking, yes. for sure, like going in and actually doing it.
Sure. So,
Yesterday's when I started on my.
oh, got it. Okay. So ballpark, I mean, how much are you considering selling it for?
I'm a bargaining type of person, so I want to know what's like. What are you offering for just for the land?
Well, I don't know yet. Like I said, my underwriting team's working on that. I'm sorry?
Correct.
No, I said, I don't know yet.
And ask for a low number and if you work more. You know what I'm saying? So like.
I get it.
She was a tough negotiator. This seller person was a tough negotiator. So what I did is she wouldn't give me. You'll see right now. She doesn't want to give me a number. And check out what I do here next.
Yeah, and they're putting that together for me right now, right? So that's why I wanted to get the info over. So you don't have an idea how much you would want for potentially what you're trying to accomplish as far as like
I have a price in my head. I have a price in my head.
Which is?
But I want to see realistically. We'll see where you're close to get to it.
So she still doesn't want to give up the number, right? Still saying we'll see what you have to offer, and then we'll go from there. So very savvy, right? Very understanding of what's happening here.
So what let me guess, you probably want to be somewhere around like 250,000, I'm assuming.
All right, there's the first anchor, really high, right? Because what if she said, yeah, I mean, if I can get 250,000, she would then basically be like, no, we're too far apart, right? But here we go.
Oh, you're crazy. No.
Higher than that?
Lower than that.
Lower than that, which means?
We'll see. We'll see. That's what we're gonna see.
Here's where I'm gonna anchor her low.
No, that's all right. Let me ask you this. So what's the mortgage balance? You said it was $10,000?
Yes, I owe.
So I try about 2 or 3 different ways to try to get a number of her. Right now I'm gonna play the mortgage card. So it's like, what's the mortgage balance, and then how much do you want on top of that? And here's what she says.
I owe $10,000.
Oh, say that one more time. I'm sorry.
I owe $10,700.
Okay, $10,700. Okay,
That's
perfect.
the 4 loans that I took out of the other ones went through the dude.
Got it. Okay. So let me ask you this, because I'm going to go back to my underwriting team right now, and I'm going to see if where they're at with the offer. But I like to ask this question, that way I can go back to them. And let's pretend that someone was that you got an offer that you didn't have to pay anything out of pocket. It was net to you, and you guys didn't have to do anything to the property. What would you feel comfortable selling it for then?
Again, let me see what you're going to offer. I think it fails a long time.
I'm sorry. Say that one more time. The last part.
So let's see what you're going to. I think it fails a long time. So let's see what you're going to offer, and then we'll go.
I don't know if any of you all heard her, but she said, I've been in sales a long time. So again, savvy, understands what's happening, but doesn't understand what's going to happen next, which is the anchoring part, right? And so again, I went really high on a number. She said, no, that would be crazy. I would never accept that. So now I want to see what's that in between here with this question.
Well, what if I was below 100,000? What would happen next if my underwriting team came back? Okay, so we know.
So see there, exactly. She said, no, that would be too low. So that's why I didn't want to give the 94,350, because I wanted to see first where she was at with the offer, and she's higher.
No, you don't want 250, and we know that 100,000 is going to be low enough. So where in that range do you want to be?
What's the goalpost?
More on the higher end. So.
Which a higher end?
So again, I'm a person, so let's see what we have.
Well, I'm not going to be close to 200,000 if that's what you're looking to get. I'm going to be way my number. I'm assuming, and again, I don't know. I know my underwriting team kind of just was still looking at it, but if I don't get close to 200,000, is that a deal breaker for you?
No, it's not. Again, open for other offers.
Okay.
But again, like you're the first one off this offering.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what it goes with. I see more of us for online. I've looked online. I've done a little bit of number crunching.
Okay. So let me place you on hold really quick because I have Brooke. She's part of my underwriting team. And basically what I'm going to do is she's going to give me a number here really quick. Okay. Bear with me. Let me place you on hold for 60 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So a lot of times I get asked this question: why not just give them a number? Which is really simple to do, right? By the way, thank you if you've stayed with me this long watching this call. It's great. It's a great learning experience. A lot of people have asked me, why didn't you just give her the number? Well, let's say this: if I gave her a number, and and basically I don't know where she's at, right? Like I said, most people want to know what they want to get for the property, and I want to get as close as possible to that number. And the reason why is because somebody has to establish a baseline first. I already anchor her. I said, Lord, what happens if I'm lower than 200,000? She said no. What happens if I'm closer to 200? She said no. Now I know I have a baseline that she wants to be somewhere around there. Obviously it's going to be on the higher end, but I don't just throw numbers out. I am trying to negotiate from what's owed to what is needed to what they want to walk away with, right? And typically, like I said, most sellers know when what they want for the property. It's a positioning game. It's a leverage game. Sellers love the game. They love to play the game. They don't want it to end. It's a game to them. And you should be aware of that, and you should know that, right? Don't just throw that number out there just because you want to get the deal. Figure out what's the solution. You know what I mean? Like, fight for it, struggle to get there, just like they're struggling, quote unquote, to sell you the property. You also have to struggle to get to that number, right? You can't give up too easy. You can't make it seem too easy for them. It needs to be an equal playing field when it comes to negotiations. Here we go. Let's go ahead and we're almost finished here.
Let's see what she says.
So I think if we did this the old-fashioned way, taking out realtor fees,
So it's 200,000. What?
210.
210, and then 65% puts us at where?
210 is 136.
Okay.
65 is 136. So
So then.
I know the max, the MAO is 111.
Mm-hmm. So then I'll
That's
come
taken
back
out.
and
So if I
say,
did 210 time, take out realtor fees, closing costs, take out the 40K in repairs, take out 25K for the buyer, take out 10K for us is 120. So they should make another 10K, honestly, probably. So that's what I'm saying. 110, 111 is the MAO.
so then they did come back higher. Then we'll do 110, $350.
Okay.
So I like using odd numbers, right? I'm a very big believer in using odd numbers. I don't like coming back and saying, hey, they came back and gave you 110,000. No, I like using odd numbers, 111 with $355, right? So here we're going to go back and we're going to start low. Now I'm going to give her an actual offer here.
So let's do this.
300.
Yeah, 110, $350. So 110, $355. Yeah.
So the offer is $110,355.
Here we go.
Sometimes I'll add cents, but let's see what she says here.
Hello, Christine, you there?
Uh-huh.
Okay, perfect. I'm sorry. I apologize for the hold. So basically my underwriting team, they came back with the number. Of course, you got to remember these guys are just, or gals, because it's Brooke. They're just looking at numbers, and they haven't been in the conversation with me and you throughout this whole process. So honestly, they did come back a little higher than I'd expected. I thought they were going to be lower. So in order for us to be able to make you an offer try to help, a net offer to you where you can walk away with this and you don't have to do anything. So the offer that came back is right around $110,355.
Okay. 110.
You gotta stay quiet when you give your number. You have to make sure that you zip it. let them react to it, let them digest it. Some people are going to answer faster than others. Some are going to be slow to come back and say, hey, that's a terrible number. Some are, sorry, fast to come back and say, that's a terrible number. But you have to be quiet because this is very crucial and important here, right? You just unfolded your card right now. So you have to make sure that you're quiet. You got to make sure that you give them time to really analyze this. Here we go.
110 what?
$110,355.
Now we have the ability to go all the way up to 135. I don't know. You heard Brooke. ARV's 210 with the repair cost. You know, we're not going to make as much. We're probably going to make like a $10,000 assignment fee. We have the capability of going all the way up to 135.
Okay. Are you at this number?
I'm sorry?
Are you at the 480-896-0644?
Yeah, I mean, that's my direct number.
All right. So notice what she's doing. She thinks that I'm going to let her off the phone here now that I gave her the number. She's trying to, you know, get off the phone. But here's what check out what I tell her next.
Sounds to me like that might be a little too low for you.
Yeah.
Okay. So if we were able to do all those things I talked about, I mean, how close can you be to that number so I can go back to them and see what, you know, see if they can meet up with you on that number?
Well, see if they can be more like 170.
$170,000.
Whoo! See, she was closer to the 200,000 mark. I already knew it.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. I don't know if they're gonna go up high, but it's worth the try, right? So let me go back to them. I know when they ran these numbers at 110,355. But let me see. That's the closest you can get to the 110,355, the 170,000.
Okay, let's see what else they say.
Okay.
Boom. You see that? Again, let's see what else they say, right? She didn't say no, right? She didn't say no, I'm not moving from there. I also said, okay, let me find out. It's worth the shot. Let me go tell them, see if they can come up. What's the closest they can come up to that? Where again, it's a game. This seller understands that, and we're getting closer and closer to make it to that goalpost.
Sounds good. Let me place you on hold. Give me 1 second. Yeah, she's way far off.
So have we talked about when, you know, if she went the realtor route, what that's going to look like, how much work she's going to have to do with that? Like, does she even?
She hasn't talked to anybody, but I think that, I mean, right now
Like, where is she getting
she's
the
early in
money
the
from?
stage of the sales. So that's another thing too to remember. She's early in the stage right now of the sales process. She just started 2 weeks ago, and right now she probably hasn't gotten beat up as much. But yeah, we're not. I mean, the only way we can give her that offer is to go creative. You know what I mean?
Yeah, creative.
Can we go up to 120 on it?
So basically, what I was trying to say there is the only way we would be able to do something like 170 would be to go creative. But what I want to do is come back. And I don't want to go there yet. I don't want to go there yet. But just I'm already thinking ahead in case if we have to go there. However, I'm now trying to see what's the limit, right? Remember, we can go all the way up to 135. I think it is. That's our that would be our highest possible offer where we could still make anywhere between 5 to 10 grand on an assignment fee.
Okay, so 210's ARV. So if we're going to say maybe it's not 40K in work,
I'm sorry.
do we want to not do 40K in work?
Check
So
out
we got
this comment right
210.
here.
How about 30? Because it's a
Yeah.
mobile home, so we don't. You know what I mean?
This comment says, "OMG, I am glued to the computer screen.
Okay,
Hmm.
minus 30.
I'm glued to this computer screen. I feel like I'm watching Deal or No Deal. Hand covering face.
40K in work minus 20K to the investor,
Yeah. It's not a big purchase, so
and then 10K to us.
yeah.
So that's 135.
I don't want to go that high.
Yeah, I know. So literally 125 is probably the best.
Probably 125, 550.
And then you could, yeah. if it needs all that work.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
It's not really good for novation. I mean, it could be.
We could go innovation. We'll
And
go
we're-
creative, and then if they don't,
We're thinking about all the possible excess here at this point, right? Because if she comes back and says 170,000, this is why it's important. You have to, what is it called? You gotta skill up, and you gotta, increase your tool set so you have the capability of offering different solutions to your sellers, to your prospects. Don't be a one-trick pony anymore. It's 2024. You cannot be a one-trick pony. We are already in the back of our mind are constructing different exit strategies based on how the conversation has went so far. Let's see what happens. Check it out.
if she doesn't want, we can do novation. I think she's going to be a follow-up early in the sales process, in the sales step. So, hello, Christine.
Yes, sir, I'm here.
All right, thank you. I appreciate you for staying on here with me this long. All right, so just going back and forth with them, I told them, what you're trying to accomplish. Obviously, I told them you just had started, looking at or talking to, individuals that want to buy the property. So I was able to have them, come up just a little bit, not as much, obviously closer to what, but I guess I would just give you the number they came up with was 100. This is like their final offer from what they told me was $125,555. And that'll be net to you. You don't have to pay any closing costs. That's what you're going to collect, and you don't have to do anything for the property.
How fast can we do it?
I'm sorry, how fast can we do it? So how fast would you like for us? How fast would you like us to?
Okay. I'm going to stop it right there because you see what I'm saying is gave her a little bit more money. I didn't say no, 170, it's out of the question. I didn't say, hey, you know what? We're not going to do that. I'm not going to go back to my underwriting team and tell them 170. I acknowledged, I addressed it, and now I came back and offered her another, extra. I went higher, right? You always look good when you go higher. Earlier, this is what I was saying. You can always go higher. To come back down, it's going to be tough. There's got to be like this exaggerated situation that was out of your hands, but you can always go up and look like, a hero. Ooh, almost dropped my mic. And you can always go up. So you got to make sure you understand that. That's why we started super low. We started less than 50% of ARV. We're now ending up right around 60% of ARV, right? So you heard her. How fast can you do it, right? Went up to 125, 550, and that's the number that hit. So let's go see. Let's go ahead and get back on the call so you can see the ending here.
Sorry, tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yeah. So do you feel? What do you think about the offer? Okay. So it sounds like you're. Sounds like you're comfortable with the 125, 550.
I'm good with.
Got it. Okay. So here's the other thing. I'll let them know. Give me 1 second here, and then I'm going to come back and give you the next steps of what's going to happen. Okay. Bear with me. Let's go. All right. So
We need to know what her next steps are too.
no, that's what I'm going to do. I'm
Okay.
going to do step
No,
1.
I
to
mean,
3
no,
right now.
her next steps. What is she planning on doing? Like, what's happening next for her?
That's what we're going to do right now. Just let her. Let's put her on ice. So 125, 550.
Make sure Brooke brought up a good point is we got you won't hear it on this call, but always got to know what the next steps are for the seller, what you know what I mean, and also what I'm going to do next when I come back on this call, we're going to let them know what the next steps are for us. I typically don't get into the next steps for the seller until they sign the contract. So I tell them the next 3 things that we need to do here. Check it out.
Make sure we write that down
I did.
in our notes. So I'm going to come back and say, all right, they're good to go. Let me give you the next 3 steps, and then we're going to do the fulfillment. So here we go. All right, Christine, you there?
I'm here.
Okay. I appreciate you for holding on. Okay. Well, here's the thing. So great news. They're gladly to starting the process with you. Here's what I want to do. I want to give you the next 3 steps of what's going to happen. I know you said that you want to get everything done tomorrow, but obviously there's a few steps that we need to make sure that we get going first. So do you have something to write down? Do you have a pen and paper to write? You are? Okay, perfect. So the step number 1 is going to be to put everything in we talked about in writing. So what that means is I'm going to send you, I got your email here on file, so bear with me here. Let's see. Let me look here. Yep, it looks like let me just confirm it. Hold on one second here.
So I paused here because obviously I don't want to give away her email. So just yeah.
So I'm gonna have my transaction coordinator put it all we talked about. It's gonna be a cash offer at 125, 550. And then the second step would be for both of us to go through the agreement and get it signed. So when are you available? When are you available to make that happen for us to do that? Okay, perfect. So if we did something like in the next hour, would you be available for us to walk the agreement and get it signed? Okay.
Absolutely.
You want to put that on the notes, please? And then, okay, perfect. And then once we get on the call to get this signed, what I want to do is we're going to put basically 3 different days and times to have our partners walk the property. And that way we can get pictures and all that. You don't have to worry about doing anything, but we'll get those dates and times once we jump back on the phone to get the agreement signed. Okay.
Sounds great.
Okay, got it. So I'm gonna put it on my calendar right now to call you back in an hour. I'm gonna send the agreement in the email that I just confirmed with you.
Text me first, just in case.
Got it.
Okay, text me just because sometimes I don't get the phone call come in, but I do see the text, so then I can call you.
Okay, perfect. Then we'll do that. And then we'll walk through it, and I'll answer a lot of questions on there and stuff. Obviously, we want to make sure that we are on the same page with everything. And then what's going to happen is, just to set the expectation with you here, is that all our agreements they're gonna say 30 days or on or before. It's just the policy that we have, because here's the thing that we found out in the past with other sellers is that what we found out is that if we put, like, let's say close in 3 days, right? What tends to happen, we got to go back to you and get an extension, because we're at the mercy of the title companies, right? We're at the mercy of the title companies. And so we cannot, we have to put, our policy is to put on or before 30 days. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. So I have it on my calendar to call you back in an hour, and I'm going to have my transaction coordinator right now put the offer together. And congratulations. We're looking forward to doing business with you. I appreciate you, Christine, for hanging out with me and talking about your property and us buying it. Okay.
Thank you, Lynn.
All right. Thank you. We'll be in touch. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Let's go.
Yeah. All right. So boom. So there you go. We got a call from A to Z completely. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed this breakdown. Listen, it is very important and very crucial. You go back and rewatch this again. There was a lot of stuff that I broke down for you. A lot of stuff that we covered. That was a beautiful call. I mean, all the way from hello to agreement. A couple of things I want to address there at the end. We don't send out contracts to everyone. We want them to be in front of their computer. We want to walk them through the agreement. We don't just send the agreement blindly. We want to make sure that they are actually, in front of their computer, so we can walk them, answer any questions, so that way everything gets done correctly. So that's the reason why we set up a callback and just to walk the agreement with her. So listen, let me know in the comment section. I appreciate you for, I know we're almost here we're going into an hour now, but I appreciate every single one of you. If you've been here for the whole time, let me know in the comment section, what were your 2 top takeaways? What were your 2 top takeaways from this call? What were some things? What were some questions? What was some confusing stuff that you would like me to address in the comment section? I'll do a video about them. Let me know in the comment section. And remember, if you're new to this channel, make sure that you subscribe. Make sure you like this video. And by the way, share this video so that way other people can see it. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Later.